You're talking and they're watching, not just listening, watching. Their eyes track your movements. They remember details you don't remember sharing. They ask questions that seem innocent but feel calculated. And you get this uncomfortable feeling that you're being analyzed. Like you're not in a normal conversation, you're in an assessment. Here's what's actually happening and why you should pay attention to it. When someone is secretly studying your behavior, they're gathering data. They're building a profile of who you are, how you think, what triggers you, what you want, what you fear. This isn't casual observation. This is strategic intelligence gathering, and people do this for two reasons. Either they're trying to connect with you on a deeper level, or they're trying to manipulate you. The problem is, you can't tell which one it is until it's too late. Watch for the person who remembers everything. You mentioned something once in passing 3 months ago and they bring it up now. You expressed a preference casually and they've noted it. You showed a weakness briefly and they filed it away. Normal people forget most of what you tell them. The person studying you remembers everything, because they're not just hearing your words, they're cataloging them, building a database of information they can use later. Here's the psychology behind why people study others. Some do it because they're naturally analytical. They can't help but notice patterns. They see behavior as data and they process it automatically. These people aren't necessarily dangerous. They're just wired to understand how things work, including people. But others study behavior with intention. They're looking for leverage, for weak points, for ways to gain advantage. They're predators doing reconnaissance, and you're the target. Think about how this plays out in real interactions. The person studying you asks questions that seem like genuine interest. What do you do for work? What are your hobbies? What's your family like? Normal questions. But they're not making conversation. They're mapping your life, understanding your structure, identifying what matters to you so they know what buttons to push later. Every answer you give is another piece of the puzzle they're assembling. The most dangerous sign someone is studying you is when they mirror your behavior too perfectly. They match your energy. They use your vocabulary. They share your opinions. They like what you like. It feels like you found someone who gets you. Someone on your wavelength. But what's actually happening is they're becoming whoever you need them to be. They're shape-shifting, adapting, playing a role designed specifically to gain your trust. And once they have it, they'll use it. Here's what separates genuine connection from strategic study. Genuine connection feels natural, comfortable. You don't feel watched, you feel seen. But when someone is studying you, there's a tension, a performance quality to the interaction. You feel like you're on stage even in casual conversation, like every word and gesture is being evaluated. Your gut tells you something's off, but you can't articulate what. Trust that feeling. Your subconscious is picking up on cues your conscious mind is missing. People who study others also test you constantly. They'll say something slightly provocative to see how you react. They'll push a boundary gently to see if you enforce it. They'll tell you something personal to see if you reciprocate. Every interaction is a test. Every response you give teaches them something new about your psychology, and they're keeping score. Mental notes on what works and what doesn't. What opens you up and what shuts you down. Watch for the person who adapts their approach based on your reactions. First conversation they try charm and you don't respond. Next conversation they try vulnerability and you engage. They've just learned that vulnerability is your weak point. They'll use it. They'll show you calculated vulnerability designed to lower your defenses, and you'll think you're building intimacy when really you're being played. The manipulation feels like connection because it's designed to. Some people study behavior because they're sociopaths or narcissists. They lack genuine empathy, so they have to learn how to fake it. They watch normal people interact and mimic the patterns. They study emotional responses they can't naturally feel and learn to reproduce them. So when they comfort you or celebrate with you, it's not real. It's a performance based on observation. And the only way they can maintain that performance is by constantly studying you, learning what emotions they're supposed to display in which situations. Here's the most unsettling part. The person studying your behavior often knows you better than you know yourself. They see your patterns, your triggers, your defense mechanisms, your insecurities, things you're not even consciously aware of. They've been paying closer attention to you than you pay to yourself, and that knowledge gives them power. They know exactly what to say to hurt you, exactly what to do to manipulate you, exactly how to get what they want from you. But not everyone studying your behavior has malicious intent. Some people do it for survival. They grew up in chaotic or dangerous environments where reading people accurately meant safety. They learned to study behavior as a defense mechanism, to predict outcomes, to avoid threats. These people aren't trying to manipulate you, they're just hypervigilant, always scanning, always analyzing, always prepared. It's trauma response, not predatory behavior. So how do you tell the difference? Pay attention to what they do with the information they gather. Do they use it to support you, anticipate your needs, make you feel understood, or do they use it to control you, push your buttons, manipulate your decisions? The person studying you for connection will make you feel safer. The person studying you for control will make you feel increasingly trapped. The information gathering looks the same. The application reveals the intent. When you suspect someone is studying your behavior, stop feeding them data. Become less transparent, share less personal information, don't explain yourself, don't justify your choices, don't reveal your fears and insecurities. Watch how they react when you stop being an open book. If they're genuinely interested in you, they'll respect your boundaries. If they're gathering intelligence, they'll push harder. They'll try different tactics to get you talking. They need the data. And your refusal to provide it disrupts their strategy. The person secretly studying your behavior isn't doing it by accident, it's deliberate, calculated. And whether their intent is connection or manipulation, you deserve to know you're being observed. You deserve to decide consciously what information you share and what you protect. Stop being an unwitting subject in someone else's psychological study. Start paying attention to who's paying too much attention to you. That awareness might be the only defense you need.